Good morning, guys. It's the 5th of April 2021 and it's Bank Holiday Monday. The sun is shining, but it's bitterly cold out there. We had a little bit of snow this morning and it's blowing an absolute hooligan. I mainly came up today just to prepare those other clean nest pans. Go in this stock loft, give them a bit of a clean out under the grills, and then reset these clean nest pans for the pairs that are ready to go down on second round. If I get nothing else done, that'll do me. I'll go home and chill out. If I can be bothered with anything else and I find a bit of motivation and I find another little job or two to do, then we might do that as well. I am thinking about planting some peas for pea pods. And I don't know whether I'll do that today or maybe tomorrow. We'll wait and see how it goes. Whatever we do, we'll bring you along and we'll show you as usual. Right guys, we're all cleaned out now. So as you can see, our little ice blues are doing quite well first time round with their two babies. Just need to check and make sure this one still has its ring on. Yeah, it does. That's the smaller of the two, probably a hen and a cock. It's still got its ring on, so happy days. That's the more rung that's going to be rung now. So as you can see, we've got our Coleman cock and our check hen. We've put a secondary nest pan in there for her. She's definitely showing signs of wanting to lay again, and he's driving her. So we just put another pan in there. We just give them all a bit of a clean out, and then we just put a secondary pan in there for them. So a quick look at our Coleman. Yeah, nice little Coleman that. It's actually a Coleman pied. It's got some white flights and a little bit of spotting on the head. Yeah. And the other one's turned out to be a nice light check. I'm not sure how well you can see this, guys, but the other one's turned out to be a nice light check. Really nice pigeon actually, and the Coleman's really nice. So them two are coming on. The Coleman's already spoken for, and then we've got our two, as they appear at the moment, to be blacks. These are off the toy white stencil, toy white check cock, and the black hen F1 for toy stencil, frill stencil. Now we have already had toy stencil bars out of these. One in the next shed is a son off them. The other one we took away and put back in the coloured loft was another one off this pair as lead breads. This one on the top's going to be an Andalusian by the look of it. No sign of any frill stenciling in it yet, but it's an F1 for frill stencil and it's Andalusian. So we're going to keep that one. And as you can see, they've laid the first egg off the second round. Where there's only a single youngster, they will go back in the pan and lay in the same pan. But these have obviously got two big youngsters on here, and they'll still feed the youngsters. But because they're on two big youngsters, we put them a secondary pan in. These two are getting on as well. They haven't actually showed signs of driving, but we've put them a secondary pan in because they've got two on this nest. These are still on the one youngster, which is growing, but we won't put a secondary pan in for them because she will probably lay in there because there's only one youngster. The blacks are sitting the frill stencil eggs, and the milkies are sitting their eggs. And I just noticed whilst I was in here that milky cock wasn't looking too well, and when I picked him up he's actually starting to go light, which I'm really disappointed because this is the only pair of milkies I have left. So we've caught him in time, I think. We took him to the other loft, we've medicated him and brought him back, and I'll do that for the next 3 days with just a half a tablet, which is what I've done with birds in the past. It's when it started to go light. Not sure why he started going light. Everything's spick and span in here, every other bird's healthy, and I'm not sure why, whether it's picked something up in the aviary or something, I don't know. But either way, we've got him on a bit of medication now. The hen's fine, but the cock was shown, just didn't look quite right to me. I just looked at him, I thought, he doesn't look right. And that might explain why we got clear eggs in the first nest. Then in this nest here we've got a lovely blue white flight, it's turned out to be. Now it just looks like a blue white flight at the moment, but those bars could turn opal or they could turn indigo. I've seen this happen before where I thought I had a blue pied, and then after I took it off and it started feeding itself and was up a day or two, it turned out that the bars went brown, which meant it was an indigo bar, pied. These are much more identifiable now. This is a lovely brown spread white flight. Lovely brown spread white flight. And the other one is a nice light brown check, as you can see. Two really bonny pigeons, and these two have been spoke for as well. Then we have our youngster in here off the indigos. Now I'm not 100% certain with this, but this one actually might turn out to be an indigo check, and if it does, it'll be the first time I've had an indigo check out. But it's either that or a recessive red. And then in here, under our almond hen and our spread cock, we have a cracking brown spread. It's actually got a white flight as well by the looks of it. Yeah, it's actually got a white flight as well. Okay, Les, alright. Okay, Les, okay. She's a good hen, this, she really is a good hen. This is my best almond hen. I've actually got another cracking almond hen who's actually not in use. She's in the hen's loft at the moment, which was imported from Holland. Excuse me. Now, we did breed off her last year and she bred some cracking almonds. But this year I didn't find a mate for her because I'm too busy concentrating on the frill stencil project. So there's white flight in that one. But potentially that one is going to be a hen. We'll see how that one turns out, whether I'll let it go or not. And then down here we have our youngster. That's off the satinette. And our white check Lebanon cock. And it's early to say yet, but it does look like it's going to have some white lacing in the wing. Big fine youngster. We didn't put rings on it, but looking at its feet and legs, we possibly could have now, but there we go. I didn't want to be keeping it for stock anyways, guys, so I didn't want to go down the route of having to cut the ring back off again if it turned out that it had a thick leg. Now I've put a nest pan in here for her as well, and the reason for that is because I've just been watching her curling up in this corner down here with the white toy check, even though they've only got the one youngster on there. And because I really want these ones, I've put her another nest in just to see if she'll go to it. That's just a quick tour around the loft, guys. All spick and span again. We need to come in here every day for the next couple of days I'm off. At least another 2 days. He's had half a tablet now. Another 2 days, half a tablet, he'll be bouncing again. And I think this one's going to be a blue barless, but they don't seem to be feeding this too well. Although it was a little bit behind the other ones, I suppose. We've increased the corn massively now. They're really getting plenty of food now. Come on, Tom. Come on here. Yeah, I'm quite liking this. It's a bit bad light for to see actually, guys. I'm liking the Andalusian. And as I only have the one hen left of this Andalusian, I could create more, of course, with the indigo check. compared to a black. But we also want some blacks, inevitably, for our full stencil project. Some nice clean blacks, no ticking in the eye or anything. I'm just thinking about that brown under the almond there. We might let that one go just because it has a white flight in it. Not really any good for the frill stencil project, but it'll be a cracking little hen for somebody. We'll see how it goes, guys. I'll see you later. Right guys, in the greenhouse now, just having a potter. So what I decided to do is we would get these tomatoes that had germinated transplanted on now. And as you can see, that's about the worst one. These are the Alicante. But where we thought we had 2 or 3, we've now got 6. So yeah, it's a bonus. And these are the other ones here. We've literally just put them into 3-inch pots now. And they were really ready for it as well, because there was not a lot of feed left in that those little cells, but it got them started. Just give all the little lettuces a bit of a drink. Last weekend we planted this second bucket of carrots. I think you just see them. They only got planted last weekend. They're just starting to stand up a little bit again now. These carrots are exactly the same age as these ones, but they were planted a week earlier into the tub. Massive difference, all planted at the same time, but because they were put in soil a week earlier, that's the difference on them. But these will come, guys. They will come. So we've used all those carrots up now. Just watered all the beetroots, the leeks, all the turnips, all these lettuces. They're coming along really nice. In spite of still being in these little tiny cells, they're still doing well. And what I've done is I've took some of those red onions, bunches of red onions. So we stripped out what there was of the French breakfast radish. Another little harvest there. The rest were just little tiny things that weren't really making out much. And all of these ones that we put in as a test, which was the red meat, globe radish, it all started going to seed. So I pulled the lot out and I thought I might as well have the space and get some spring onions in. So what I've done is I've planted a few bunches of spring onions. These are the red ones, guys. Because basically now the onions are also suffering in these little pots now, and I really need to get these put on. Now I might just come in here and pot a few more on singles, and then the rest will go into the beds over there. Or we'll put a lot in that bed and then it's done, and then leave ourselves a few to pot on. That'll probably be the better method. Then I'll think I'm getting somewhere. See you shortly, guys. Right guys, we've got this bed planted out now. We've got 25 lettuces in here. Everything that we had left in the little cell trays, and they're desperately needed to get out. So we've put them out, we'll give them a fighting chance. I'm not going to put fleece on, but they have got a little bit of wind protection, which is probably more than you guys have. They have got a little bit of wind protection with these, and I've put 21 bunches of spring onions or something like that in there. Now I do have a bit more space. As you can see, I've interplanted between the lettuces with the onions, but I ran out of lettuces to put in there, so I just put the onions in there. But I do have space to put more bunches of onions if I so desired, but we've got plenty in there now, guys. They're all the white Stuttgart spring onions this time. The ones we planted in the greenhouse in bunches were the red ones. So we're going to keep some, obviously, and transplant them on, and we're going to grow them into full size onions in here, and the rest of this bed down here, and maybe even a bed over there. Use one of those. But for now, at least they're out now. We just have to hope we don't get any really severe weather. However, lettuces are pretty cold hardy, as are onions. So with a bit of luck we'll cover those over, leave them to their own devices and see how they get on. Right guys, a quick look in the greenhouse to see how it's going, and I'm absolutely delighted. It's lovely and warm in here, beautiful, and we've still got this lovely, we've got northerly winds again today, with the really cold biting winds, and there's just a nice little trickle of air. Although the wind's howling against this, there's just a nice trickle of air coming in here, and it's still toasty warm in here. But more importantly, see if I can show you this, all the condensation that was sitting on this roof yesterday, and I thought, oh my god, don't say I've built this and now we're going to get covered in condensation all over those trees. It's drying out. So now that we've got the ventilation, there's still little spots here and there, there's tiny spots, but it's still drying out. But now with this airflow in here, it's lovely, absolutely lovely guys. Well pleased. Right guys, we just give our two blueberry bushes a good watering and put them here just slightly in the shade of the wind. They don't really need it because they're hardy, but they're just there for the time being. Everything now, I've run a hose pipe down here and off the IBC, and I've absolutely soaked this bed because it was really dry even after that last time of watering, and I just stood here for 20 minutes just soaking this bed completely through. We give the carrots another watering as well. We've watered the chilli. I doubt very much that's going to come back to life. It would have been starting to show signs by now. We absolutely drowned this bench as well, this bed as well. Drowned the onions, give them a really good soak, and they were crying out for it. And I've now potted out a lot of those spring onions as you've seen, but I've also, I don't know if you can see this, but I've quite a bit of water in there, and I'm bottom watering these onions to keep them going. They're desperate to be pricked out and planted on, potted on now guys. But I've done 40 onions, but I've done enough. That's, my back's going crazy again now. So we've done some of the Stuttgart white onion, and we've done some of the reds as well. So that's a good job. Just put that empty one in there. Right, so I don't know if you can see, but there's 5 of our 6 aubergines came up. How long they'll survive, or whether they'll continue to survive, I don't know, but we're keeping them nice and hot in here at the moment. It's actually 28 degrees in here, and then they've got this over as well. We'll just give them a good soak. We've just soaked down the Swedes. All the lettuces are now transplanted. I've planted some of these beetroots now. That tray, never again. You can't get them out. Though I was literally having to dig them out of the modules. I was hoping to just put them in blocks, but I've given them a really good soaking now, and maybe try a pencil or something tomorrow to poke up with a pen. But these are the 40 I've got planted on now. So from here we've got 20 whites, and then we've got 20 reds in there. Now that's just the next stage. What I've actually done is I've put them in the lettuce tray, saying as it was lucky and we nearly got full germination. We've put them in there just to bring them on a little bit more, give them a bit more feed. The other ones are going to get transplanted as well, or the majority of them are, and then the rest will just go in as bunching onions. Somewhere we'll find some spaces, probably between the lettuces. But we won't let them go to waste, guys. We've grew them, we might as well use them. I'm just going in for a cup of coffee, but yeah, really productive day in spite of the cold. Although it's lovely and warm in there, you get out here, it's blown an absolute hooligan. Although it has warmed up slightly from this morning when it was freezing. It's a cold northerly wind though. I'll see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, just to mix it up a bit, I'm having a cup of coffee. Right, in the polytunnel, when I was showing you the onions, the 40 onions I've transplanted, into the little cells where the lettuces were. You'll have seen they were actually bone dry, but yes, but they've been watered since. Everything in there has actually had a good watering now, because strangely enough, although it's bitterly cold outside and blowing a gale, as I say, it's 28 degrees in that polytunnel, but I haven't opened any of the windows on that polytunnel yet, so that's the reason why it's as warm as it is in there. So yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. I decided I was coming up today and I was basically just going to do those nest pans, put them in for the pigeons, go home and have a chill out and a bit of a relax. And then I seen the plants and thought, oh, they need to get plotted on. I need to get something done with these. That bed's bone dry. I need to get that watered. I need to go and check on the greenhouse that I built, finished off yesterday, etc, etc, etc. And one thing led to another, to another, to another, to another. But a productive day. Yeah, I've got a bit of a twinge in my back, but it's nothing like it's been the last few days. And it's 20 to 4 in the evening now. So, as you can see how long it takes me to do things. But I'm happy with the progress. It's just a bit more done, guys. I've got the watering in the bottom of those onions. Now tomorrow, I know I said I was going to plant some peas today, but I can't be bothered now. I'm going down home. Got a bit of an itch, sorry guys. I'm going down home now as soon as I've had this cup of coffee, going for something to eat. Tomorrow, whatever the weather, will come up. And I think we might just cut some bits of gutter that'll, well, I might even just direct sow the peas into one of those other beds, one of those pallet collar beds that we got filled up with compost. If it's pouring down, then we'll cut some lengths of gutter and take them in the greenhouse and we'll do them in there. But if it's dry at least, we'll give the bed a good soak, and then we'll just direct sow some peas in one of those beds. And then I might just clip a bit of net over the top. But I've got some little spring clips, I've got some net or fleece or whatever, just till they get started. Not really to protect them from the cold, but to protect them from birds or mice or whatever, and just see how they go. I don't want a massive amount, but we might just put a couple of rows in there across the back side of each bed, or maybe even just one bed. I don't know yet, guys, but I want to get some peas started. Those beetroots, I said, oh, that tray, never again. It's a really good sturdy little modularised tray, but it's the hard plastic and you can't squeeze it, so and you can't get your thumb in to push up underneath either. There's a little hole, there's a drain hole in there, but it's not even big enough to get your finger in. So although it is a very substantial tray, would last many years, I was trying to get the beetroots out and it was impossible. I ended up having to dig them out, which is not good. What I've done with the few that I did dig out is I just put them in between the spring onions in the polytunnel, and maybe 7 or 8 or something like that. I've just planted them in and give them a chance. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. Yeah. Give them another good douse down tomorrow and then see if they'll come out of the modules any better tomorrow. I'll have to bring a pen or a pencil or something that I can try and push them out with, see if they'll come out in one piece. I doubt it, because it seems to, I did find a bit of a bamboo stick and it was just pushing the centre up and it was just opening like that, and then the soil was just crumbling. Anyways, lesson learned, we won't grow beetroots in that anymore. In fact, I don't think I'll grow anything in there, unless I widen the holes out in the bottom, so I can get a finger in and push up properly. Rather than throw the tray away, that's probably what I'll do at a later date, but it's too late for the beetroots now. I might get the sweet pudding tomorrow as well, and I'm probably going to leave them in twos, although I planted 2 in a cell, just in case we had poor germination. What I'm thinking of doing is actually going to put the Swedes in, and I'm going to plant them in twos. There's actually 3 come up in one. I'm just going to plant them in like that, because I don't want Swedes like this. I just want nice little sweet Swedes. And we'll just, I've never tried multi-sown Swede before, but we'll give it a little try in them beds and see how they come out and turn out. Right, I've babbled on for long enough, guys. Thanks for all your likes, comments, subscriptions, dislikes. That really does help with the interaction with the likes and the dislikes. Although I don't really like the dislikes, but yeah, it's still interaction and it works. Subscribers are going up very, very, very slowly. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine, guys, but I would appreciate it if it only takes a few seconds. Little subscribe button at the bottom on the right there, and then the bell icon. Select all, and that'll alert you every time I put up a new video. For now, guys, stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.